Sunderland have been the biggest surprise of the Premier League this season. I mean, for a newly promoted club to not be in a relegation battle, instead in the top 4 is crazy. And that's why I want to take over Sunderland for the next 10 seasons with the goal of building a dynasty. For that, we're going to have to develop our players, make the best possible transfers, and eventually win trophies. Now, it's not going to be easy because Newcastle, Sunderland's biggest rivals, they've got unlimited money to build their project. While for season 1, even with the Premier League TV money, we're chilling with like 36 million. To be honest though, Sunderland have shown in real life that with the team they've got, they can still compete. Players like Granit Xhaka, youngsters like Siddiqui and Talbi, there's Adingra, there's Brian Brobby. There's enough talent for us to try and build on. Now, this takeover is going to be super interesting because so far on FC26, we've only done takeovers with big clubs. So I'm wondering, where are we going to finish with Sunderland in the leaderboard? That's right, boys. We are still going to have the point system. The Premier League will be 3 points, FA Cup 2, Champions League 5, and so on. But I feel like with Sunderland, we gotta take a different approach. We gotta forget about the points for the first couple of seasons, focus on building a stable club. Because yes, this team in real life is doing incredible, but in career mode, it might be a completely different situation. I don't rule out getting relegated in the first season. With takeovers, you just gotta expect the unexpected. I think for season 1, we've got 3 things to tackle. First would be the tactics. Gotta figure out a system that we can get the best out of our team. Second would be a discussion on the youth academy. Remember, there are bonus points for getting youth academy players to a 90+ overall. If we can really flesh out a Sunderland academy in this challenge, maybe we could use that to get a high score on the leaderboard. And third, of course, is figuring out our transfers for the season, which I don't think are going to be plenty because we've only got 36 million. But first, let's get into tactics. And honestly, when I loaded up the team, we were playing a 4-1-4-1, and honestly, I feel like this is perfect for the team, especially because it puts Granit Xhaka, our best player right now, at the helm of everything. Even though he's 32, I feel like he's going to be a solid part of the team, at least for the first few seasons. And I think this 4-1-4-1 really gets the best out of him. But I think if we do want to play this system, there's a couple of things we need to change. I do want a more playmaking midfielder. Both Siddiqui and Diarra are a little bit too defensive for my liking. Now, we've got Rig, but he's only 70 rated. He's 18, but he's also a cam, so he's kind of playing out of position in midfield. So I'm thinking if we loan out Rig for the first season, let him develop, that could be the play, because I don't think he's going to get much game time here. There are way too many high-rated players than him. This way we can preserve his potential, and when he's back at a higher overall, we can look to use him. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of Nordi Mukiel playing as a right back. He's got just no pace. Good thing is, I'm able to just convert him to a centre back, and he gets a massive overall boost. And I can't lie, that is absolutely what we need. We'll have Mukiel and Geertruida be our centre back partnership. I think that's quality. We do have Try Hume, who I do like as a right back. That's one thing I realized with this team. There are so many young players in here. Hume, Talbi, Siddiqui, Adingra as well, Brian Brobby, even our goalkeeper Roofs. If we can grow them, the benefits could be crazy. Saying that though, our left back Reynildo is 31. He comes with experience, but I think that's another area where we could get a massive upgrade. So yeah, we're gonna look for centre mids and left backs in this first window. But now going into the youth academy, and I do want to hire a proper scout. Oh man, 3.4 million for this Belgian scout. He's 5-star, 5-star. But you know what? I'm sending him to England to find the best possible talents. And I think we gotta look for strikers, wingers, and centre mids. Really valuable positions for our team. And just hope that we can hit some high potential players. But okay, we've now got the tactics and our academy sorted. Also, we sold a few players we didn't need, and now we've actually got a little bit more money to work with, 38.7 million. Now, I do want to sign a left back that's got Premier League experience. Now, we could go for Nico O'Reilly, and yes, we can approach him for a transfer. In fact, Hoffenheim are already trying to do that. This kid is 75 rated, only 20 years old, and he's been coached by Pep Guardiola at least for a little bit. I think I really like this option. Plus, I don't think it's going to be too expensive. At 12 million, we should be able to get a deal. Okay, Pep really wants that extra 100k, but that works. With that, we've just made our first signing of this Sunderland project, Nico O'Reilly in that left back spot. But now, boys, I might be making a controversial signing. Job Bellingham. He used to play for Sunderland before and really performed well here. Then, of course, he got his transfer to Dortmund. But unlike his big bro, Job isn't really performing well for Dortmund. In fact, he's had a lot of controversies there. Now, we can't approach to directly buy him this season because he's just joined Dortmund department, but we could orchestrate at least a loan move with like a buy deal or something. Because I really feel like Joe Bellingham would fit perfectly at our club. In fact, he's already done it here before. Let's try a 1-year deal. Okay, we'll pay 60% of his wages. I don't mind. And a future transfer fee of 21.5 million. Okay, wait a minute. That might be a bit too much for a 75 rated player. Let's reduce that a little bit. Could we get that down to like 17 mil? Okay, we've already got it down to 19.9. Gonna be cheeky with 18 million. And wait, what? No, they rejected me. All right, boys, I really want Joe Bellingham at Sunderland, so I'm back at the negotiation table. We'll agree to whatever they say. 19.9 million. That is the future transfer fee they wanted. And now at least the deal is going to go through. Okay, we're still depending on Joe Bellingham to accept this, but I think he should. He's been here at Sunderland. He knows what this club is all about. And as expected, he's agreed to join us. He's had enough of Borussia Dortmund. And I can't lie, boys. I really want to try and make him the cornerstone of our project. Now, because the Bellingham deal was only a loan, we're still left with about 23.6 million, but I don't want to risk it, man. At the end of the season, we're going to have to make a decision on Job, and for that, we'll need to keep money. Instead, we're going to spend quite a bit of cash decking out our coaching department. And now for the first season, this is the team we have. I know we couldn't make any high-rated signings, but we were limited with Sunderland's budget. I still think, though, we've got quite a bit of quality, and our players are super young. We're going to see a lot of growth. As I said before, let's not focus on getting the points and the trophies. Let's just focus on developing the club. My goal for the first season, a top 10 finish. And also, it wasn't just Jesse Edwards. I've managed to find a couple more really good talents, especially high-rated ones. Look at Sam Woods, 67. Josh Hansen at 65. Now, these guys are not going to have any impact for the first few seasons of our takeover, but I'm thinking we straight up promote them to the senior team. And instantly, we're just going to loan them out, and I'll keep you guys up to date on their progress. While we were doing great with Project Academy, Premier League, not so much as we get 11th place finish. I guess we just had way too many low-rated players in our team. Expecting anything more would have just been a bit too much. But hold up, with the growth we've had, I don't think overalls are going to be a problem for next season. Look at our Dutch goalkeeper, Robin Roofs. He's up to an 81. Solid growth in the midfield as well as Sadiqi's up to an 80. Even Habib Diarra has grown massively. In the attack, Brian Brobby stepped up, going up to an 80 and scoring 15 goals. Okay, Talby grew pretty well, but what is that output? Bro scored like 1 goal in 33 games. Adingra, though, was carrying, man, up to an 80 plus 12 goals. But the one player that really impressed this season had to be Joe Bellingham. Not only did he go up by 5 overalls, but look at the stats from midfield, getting 9 goals and 6 assists. I think without a doubt, we gotta just settle the buy option right here, right now. Absolutely, we gotta make this Joe Bellingham transfer permanent. The kid is only 20. Easily, he could be our midfielder for the next 10 years. And there you go, boys. Permanent transfer secured for Job. Now, Season 1 was definitely chaotic. We don't get any points on the board as expected, but that means we've now got a solid foundation to build on. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to have problems, because one of our main centre-backs, Geertruida, he was only here on loan. So there's still a lot of stuff we need to figure out before Sunderland can become a real contender for trophies. By the way, I'm just going to have a cheeky check of the Premier League top scorer. Don't forget there's a bonus point if one of our players win the Golden Boot, but oh boy, Brian Brobby was way down on the list. I'm also thinking if at any point we'll even get the bonus points for winning the Ballon d'Or. Nah, man, I'm just getting way ahead of myself. We gotta just ignore the points in the leaderboard and just focus on building this Sunderland team out. I think for Season 2, our goal should be to sneak into the top 6. I think we do have the quality for that. Definitely need to sort out the centre-back department. Also, a right midfielder, because Talby, man, bro just can't seem to finish. Ultimately, though, our transfer budget is gonna dictate everything. And okay, I will take that. A sizable upgrade, 48 million. I don't think we can expect crazy money until we start qualifying for European football. First, though, we do have a few players that we absolutely don't need, so we're going to cash in on them. And I did not expect to make this much money out of those sales with up to 81 million. Bro, that changes everything, because we could now probably go for someone world-class in that right midfield position, as well as the centre-back spot. And if we get this right, we could maybe challenge to get into top 6, probably even a Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. And you know what, boys? Something about Ethan Nwaneri is really tempting me. I don't think he's going to get much game time at Arsenal, especially in his main position because of Saka. And that's why I think if we put in a reasonable offer, Mikel Arteta could agree to it. And he does at 36 million. Not gonna lie, boys, I can't believe we pulled off the signing of Nwaneri. I'm even gonna give him the number 10. That has completely sorted our midfield and attack. And now we just gotta bring in a centre-back to hold down the fort for us. Now, I'm not sure if we're gonna have the money to pull this off, but Alessandro Bongiorno from Napoli would be a huge upgrade. He's got experience winning titles with Napoli. carefully. He's 27 in his prime. He could be the leader of our backline. And okay, this is going to be tight, man. I don't think we've got the money for this. Too early to sign players like Bongiorno. Instead, we're going to have to settle with someone like Jan-Paul Van Hecke. 81 rated centre-back. Honestly, not too bad. He's got Premier League experience as well with Brighton. And we've managed to sign him for 30 mil. Bro, our team looks so much better than what we had in day one. Now, there's still a few problems we'll need to address soon, like Xhaka. He's slowly going down in his overall, and we're going to need a replacement. But for now, he's still going to be our captain. This is not what I was expecting. We literally finished worse than last season. Knocked out in one of the early rounds of the FA Cup. Same story in the Carabao Cup. Bro, I'm starting to feel like it's going to be impossible to get any points in this takeover. But okay, I said before, we're not going to worry about the leaderboard and points. Let's focus on the positives, and that is some of the overall growth we've had. Bellingham is up to an 84. Adingra 83. Our goalkeeper Roof's up to an 84 as well. In fact, almost every player in this team is 80 plus rated. Also, Brian Robbie put in a really big effort to get us our first point, but he couldn't win the golden boot. Man, I'm so desperate for that first point. I'm just wondering, where is it gonna come from? We're now in Season 3, and we're going to have to start with transfer listing Granit Xhaka. He's gone down to an 82. He's 34. And to be honest, it's kind of unbelievable we're getting 20 million for Xhaka. And that puts our budget up to 79 million. I'm wondering if we now get that CDM signing right. Probably improve another area of the team as well. Can we finally make some progress? Because, man, I feel like for 2 seasons, we've built our team really well. There's been a lot of growth, but we're not getting results. Now, the extra money we got for Xhaka gives us a unique opportunity to possibly sign Baleba, and this might be the perfect opportunity because his contract's expiring too. Now, we have pulled off the signing of Baleba, but it was still expensive, 54.4 million. But I think we've just found ourselves the perfect replacement for Xhaka. Now, we've still got 19 million left, but I don't think that's going to be enough for any sort of improvements to the team, unless we maybe cash in on Nordi Mukiel. 23.6 million offer from Arsenal. I know he's 82, but he's also 29. If we can get a good chunk of money for him, I do not mind selling him, but it needs to be upwards of 30 million. And okay, it's not going to work. You know what? In that case, there's just no need to rush. Baleba itself is a massive improvement. Hopefully, we'll get to carry over this cash to next season. For now, I do believe that with this team, we can break into the Premier League top 6. End of Season 3, and yes, we do finish 6th. Above Newcastle United as well. That is massive. Oh man, what a grind this has been. 3 seasons of just getting this Sunderland team somewhere forward, and finally we've done it. Now, we're still fighting for our first point as Robbie came close to winning the golden boot. But yeah, no sign of that because cup competitions, we were still awful. But just look at the growth we've had in the team. Job is turning out to being one of the best loan-to-buy deals I think I've ever done in career mode. He's up to an 87. Adingra has grown massively. Nwaneri as well is now picking up steam. And for Season 4, we've got our biggest budget yet, 90 million. The European football cash is coming through. And I definitely feel like we're at the stage where if we get our next few transfers right, I think it could be time for Sunderland to start winning trophies, getting some points on the board. By the way, a quick update on our academy players. Josh Hansen, the centre mid, he's up to a 72 overall. Jesse Edwards 71. Was kind of expecting more growth from them. Sam Woods has definitely been the one with the most growth, up to a 75. I still feel like right now they can't have any impact on our team, so we're going to continue our strategy of loaning them out. The same with, I guess, Chris Rigg. Unfortunately, I just can't seem to find a spot for him in our team. As talented as he is, he's not going to start over Joe Bellingham. Siddiqui and Diarra as well are super talented players, but I think the bigger play this season has to be to replace Nordi Mukiel. He's 30. We can get a lot more cash for him. 35.3 million from Arsenal. I even sold Enzo Lefebvre, and because of that, we're up to 160 million. Bro, now we're getting into territory where we could make a superstar signing for the backline. I'm thinking another centre-back as well as probably a right-back. And we aren't going to be far off from winning the big trophies. Now, there is one Brazilian centre-back I'm really a big fan of. Murillo, and he plays for Nottingham Forest. Even better, his contract's expiring. And we have absolutely secured a deal here. Just 60 million for Murillo. And that leaves us with cash to sign one of the highest potential right-backs in FC26, Givairo Reed. And we've secured the signing of the 82 rated rated right back for just 50 mil. The serious business is about to begin now with Sunderland, bro, because our team is starting to look ridiculous. Oh, wait a minute, but for some reason, we don't have a backup goalkeeper, and we're not risking that, boys. Dean Henderson is available for super cheap, 82 rated goalkeeper. He's going to be our backup goalie. I feel like a lot of you guys are thinking that with so much money, why did I not improve our attack? Because I could have easily sold Brian Brobby and brought in another world-class striker, but I genuinely feel like Brian Brobby is him. Because, bro, so far this takeover, we've had no chances of getting any points, except for Brobby pushing for the golden boot. He's gotten so close, which means I know he's got the talent. He just needs the rest of the team to continue backing him. Also this season, we're competing in the Europa League, which somehow if we do win, that's going to be 3 points. And we've started off well, finishing in the top 8. Doesn't look like we're faced by European football. Round of 16, we get through Shakhtar Donetsk, knocking out AC Milan. That is progress. Even Fenerbahce. And we've actually won the Europa League, our first trophy. Finally, boys, it's taken 4 seasons, but we've got some points on the board. I know it's only 3 points in 4 seasons, but man, does that feel like a big achievement. We've grinded so hard for it. Now, there could be more if we somehow win the Premier League, but that is a bit too much to expect. But second isn't bad. Also, we just couldn't compete with Haaland for the golden boot. Robbie scored another 20 goals, but I don't know how to get on Haaland's level, man. Also, in the Carabao Cup, we made it to the semis, but the FA Cup, we've managed to go all the way, winning it, and that's another 2 points. Okay, the more I look at this team, I can see why we did so well. We've got our first 90-rated player in Job. Adingra's 88. Robbie's 88. Nwaneri's 88. And bro, these are players I feel that can possibly even get to a 99 overall because they're so young, especially Nwaneri and Bellingham. At the back too, we've been seeing solid growth. And now that we've experienced winning trophies and securing points, this is the momentum we need to take forward. Uh-oh, Season 5 is not going to start on a good note because we've got a contract showdown with Joe Bellingham. Boss, we need to have a look at my contract now. If it's not improved in some way, I won't even consider a renewal with Sunderland. Okay, I can see why Job is upset. The poor guy is making just 50k being a 90-rated player. You know what, Job? We're going to give you the contract you want at this club. You are literally the most important player in this club's history. A 4-year extension is what we're giving him. Plus, let's just give him 140,000, man. That's a big upgrade from what he was earning before. He's willing to accept it. And look at that, boys. We've basically tied Bellingham up until the end of this takeover. That is what we needed. And that has just given me an idea. We've got one Bellingham at the club. Would it be possible to unite the brothers? I don't think so, boys. We're gonna have to pay upwards of like 210 million if we want to sign him. Now, we should be having a decent budget because of Champions League and all. And we do. 201 million. Not gonna lie, I do feel like a centre-back would be more beneficial. But can you imagine having the Bellingham brothers in that midfield role? Now that we've got Chris Rigg back at the club, he could give us more depth in the midfield. Maybe I could cash in on Habib Diarra. But nah, guys, he's only 25. I think I want to see him grow. As good as it sounds to unite the Bellingham brothers, I don't feel like now's the time. We're going to be playing Champions League football for the first time, trying to compete for the Premier League trophy. What we need to do is shore up that defense. And I'm really liking 87 rated Luke Heba, only 26 years old. And for 94 million, we've got this transfer wrapped up too. We've gotten through the phase of making Sunderland a serious club. And it's now time to stat pad trophies. And also, boys, I do feel like a few of our players like Adingra and Nwaneri, they might soon be getting into Ballon d'Or territory. Now, the problem is, as left midfielders, you really can't win the Ballon d'Or. The game is just stupid in that way. So I'm thinking, let's convert both Adingra as well as Nwaneri to attacking wingers. And I'm wondering why I didn't do this sooner, because Nwaneri just went up to a 91 overall. Adingra is well up to a 91. That is insane. And tactically, we are going to have to move to more like a 4-3-3. But I do not see this as a problem with the overall booster we've just got. Hang on a minute. Did we just beat Real Madrid in the UEFA Super Cup final? We'll take that, bro. It puts us up to 6 points. I was not expecting beating the Champions League winning team. Okay, reality check. We did lose the Community Shield. But we do win the Carabao Cup. That's 2 trophies again this season, up to 7 points. But in the Premier League, we finished outside the top 4. Newcastle finished above us. How did that happen? I think that's because for the first time, we had to also compete in the Champions League, where we did, by the way, finish unbeaten in the league phases. But Arsenal knocked us out in the round of 16. Okay, this is where we fell off towards the end of the season. Roofs was injured. Yup, it was Dean Henderson pretty much playing the latter Champions League and Premier League games, and that probably cost us quite a bit. But honestly, bro, our front line is just absolutely ridiculous. Our Adingra, Brobbey, Nwaneri coming through with the goals. Now, we didn't have that one outstanding player to win the Golden Boot, which is kind of annoying. Could have meant a bonus point. But honestly, I'm pretty happy with the attack. What I do want to change for next season, and what I do believe could make us Premier League and Champions League winners. Maybe now's the time to unite the Bellingham bros. Now, we have 76 million, which I'm hoping will carry over to next season.
A few minutes later.
It doesn't look like the money carried over. We've got 204 million, kind of similar to our budget last season. But you know what, boys? I'm obsessed with signing Jude. I need to figure out a way to pull this signing off. I think we're ready for a transfer like this, especially after we beat Real Madrid in that UEFA Super Cup final. I'll probably convince Jude about our project. I think I figured out our ticket to signing Jude Bellingham. There's an offer for Habib Diarra. I don't want to be selling to a rival, but I think I need to. 82.9 million. That's what we're getting. And I think now we've got the cash for Jude. 190 million, my first offer. I know we're going crazy with this. And is that Unai Emery, the Real Madrid manager? Well, I'm glad he is their manager because they've accepted 205 million for him. That seems like a bargain for a 94 rated midfielder. I cannot believe I'm offering someone 800,000 per week. I kind of feel like we've transformed Sunderland to Man City. Who would have thought, boys, when we started off this Sunderland takeover that in our 6th season, we'd be bringing Bellingham in. Okay, with the Bellingham brothers, I don't think we can play the underdog gimmick anymore. Literally, our entire midfield and attack is 90 plus rated. Our backline is almost there as well. I know Roofs is going to start growing soon. It's about time, boys. We've got to be winning the Premier League now. And oh wow, the impact of the Bellingham bros. 15 goals from Jude, 14 assists from Job. And up top, our attack just keeps delivering the goods. But none of it will matter if we don't win the Premier League now. We're no longer an underdog. We've probably got the best team in the league, and we now need to be winning the Premier League. And we do. It's taken us 6 seasons, but we have pulled it off. Finally, we've made it to 10 points. It's kind of satisfying, though, doing these takeovers with kind of small clubs and mid-table clubs, grinding for every single point. But this Al-Shahrani guy from Arsenal won the Golden Boot. We missed out on another point there. Well, the Europa League is in the bag. We'll take another 3 points up to 13. Yo, this might need to be our strategy. Failing to qualify for Champions League, getting into the Europa League and stat padding there. Of course, we can't do that anymore, because next season we will be in the Champions League. Wait, we also won the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Now that puts us up on 16 points. This has been a ridiculous season. By the way, boys, looking at the overalls of our team, we might have a few contenders getting to a 99 overall, especially Bellingham. Probably both the Bellingham brothers, actually. Need to see more growth from Nwaneri as well. He's only 24. And also, since we won both the Premier League and the Europa League, could we actually be seeing a Sunderland player win the Ballon d'Or? First, though, we're starting off Season 7 with a quick update on our Youth Academy talents. Here's Sam Wood. After all the loan spells, he's only an 81. You'd think he would grow a bit more than that. This season, I won't be loaning him out. It's time to keep him at the club so he can be back up to Adingra. I don't think he's getting to that 90 overall, though, unless we sell Adingra, which that's something I do not want to do. But let's see. We'll put development plans on Sam Woods and just see how he grows. Now, our 2 midfielders, Edwards and Hansen, they've grown okay, but they're both still out on loan. I guess we'll keep that. But we're not seeing the crazy growth we used to see sometimes when we loan out players, which is kind of frustrating. Maybe their base potential wasn't that high. Even if we can get one of them to a 90 overall, it could be some good bonus points. Regardless, this might be the first season where I really don't want to make any transfers. The squad is just unbelievable. I really can't see any spot where we can even make improvements. In fact, most of our players are super young as well. Okay, we could do with the backup right back, I guess, because we've got no depth in the fullback department. But that's going to be easy to sort out because I found Elias Baum from Germany, 84 rated right back. Meanwhile, we have made it to the Ballon d'Or ceremony. Now, the chance that a Sunderland player has won it is very low. It's probably Mbappe or Vinny. Are you joking? Simon Adingra has just won the Ballon d'Or. That is crazy. I guess it is deserved. He had the best stats last season. Premier League and the Europa League. Not bad at all. And he's even got the rating at 93. That's perfect, bro. We're up to 18 points thanks to it. Well, even having the Ballon d'Or winner doesn't get us the Golden Boot, man, because we've got monsters playing in the Premier League like Haaland and Mbappe. Wait a minute. Why did Mbappe join Arsenal? Now, the good news is we do win the big trophy this season. Premier League in the bag. That puts us up now to 21 points. Make that 22 with the Community Shield. Now, we don't win any of the cup competitions, but somehow we do win the UEFA Super Cup. 23 points. Surely that means we've done well in the Champions League. And we have finished top 8. Knocking out Leverkusen. Destroying Barcelona 7-3. Knocking out Inter as well. And we're in the final against Real Madrid. This is what we wanted. Getting Sunderland to the top. And now this team is one win away from winning the Champions League. Bro, Simon Adingra deserves to be the MVP of this takeover so far, man. Another season where he's bagged 34 goals. I think if we win the Champions League, yeah, Adingra is bagging the Ballon d'Or. But we don't win the Champions League. Adingra scored a brace, but not enough. But hey, we've got 3 more seasons, and we're going to chase after that Champions League with everything we've got. Now, I was not expecting this, because even without winning the Champions League, Adingra takes home the Ballon d'Or. Maybe a little bit undeserved, but to be honest, he had the stats, a Premier League trophy as well. And we'll take the bonus points. We're up to 25. We're at the end of Season 8, and look at how close Jude is to become a 99 rated player. I think Job might also get there. It would be crazy if we get both the brothers to a 99 overall. But also, boys, the academy players, Sam Woods, up to an 85. That too without getting much game time, but I think this season would have ruined his potential. This is why I loaned out Jesse Edwards as well as Hansen. They're growing decently well, but I don't know if we can get any of them to 90. We'll keep trying though. The good news is though that we're making winning the Premier League a regular affair. This has been our most dominant season by 20 points. This puts us on 28 points, and I'm thinking if we had a 90 points Premier League season, surely we've got the Golden Boot winner, and we do, and it had to be Adingra. MVP of this takeover gets us up to 29 points. But we lost the Community Shield. No FA Cup. It's so difficult to win the cup competitions. At least we do get the Carabao Cup. 30 points. And we have made another Champions League final, this time against City. Wait a minute, why is my team completely exhausted for the Champions League final? No way, man, is this going to cost us the trophy? And thankfully it doesn't. Job and Jude both got goals. Nwaneri finishing the job. We're up to 35 points. We're heading into Season 9 now, and I'm thinking, if we can get Sunderland to 50 points, that would genuinely be ridiculous considering where we started. I know it's nowhere near the scores of Arsenal and Barcelona and whatnot, but hey, we're not competing with the Giants. Now, honestly, I was just thinking if maybe we need some improvements in this team. But bro, what do I even change here? The fact that our oldest player is Adingra, he can easily play for another couple of years. I think our job is to just maintain this squad, grow them as much as we can. Even our bench is pretty ridiculous. Only changes maybe we can bring in next season are probably Jesse Edwards and Hansen, getting them back in the team, trying to get them to a 90 overall. But for now, I want to trust this team, and let's go out there and win more trophies. First up, we've got the Ballon d'Or though, and who would have thought we'd be seeing Adingra three-peat the Ballon d'Or? We're up to 37 points. And let's go, boys. We've got our first 99 rated player. Had to be Jude Bellingham, the big bro. 39 points now with that. Also, little bro Job isn't too far off as well. He's 98 rated. I think next season he'll get there. Wait a minute though. Job Bellingham, our top scorer? How did this happen? Adingra though kept performing just as he normally does. But look at that, boys. We've destroyed the Premier League yet again. 42 points now. Bro, Job Bellingham almost won the Golden Boot. How on earth is this happening? Meanwhile, we do win the Community Shield, so we're up to 43. We lost the FA Cup final. We needed that to possibly win a treble. We do win the Carabao Cup though, and against Newcastle, so we're up to 44 points. A cheeky little UEFA Super Cup as well, up to 45. And another Champions League final, but this time against Real Madrid. They did beat us before, but I think now in Season 9, our team is unmatched. And there you go, Nwaneri getting the brace. Also, Adingra missing a pen. Because of that, I think he might not win the Ballon d'Or. Regardless though, we end our 9th season with 50 points. If you would have told me that we'd get to this number with Sunderland at like the halfway point of this takeover, I'd have punched you in the face.
Daddy, chill.
But we've somehow done it. One more season to maybe get to like 60? And wait a minute, Jesse Edwards is back from his loan spell now as an 88 rated midfielder. I don't think Sam Woods or even Hansen can get there. I think with the development plan, Edwards might just make it to 90, but it's going to be super tight. The bigger issue is how is this dude going to get game time over Job and Jude? Like, that's just basically impossible. Talking about Job, if he can get to a 99 as well, that could be huge. First though, we're starting off with the annual Adingra Ballon d'Or ceremony. Rose won 4 Ballon d'Ors just like that. That puts us up to 52 points. Wait a minute, is EA trolling? End of the season and Edwards is stuck at an 89 overall. It will take him another 34 weeks to get to a 90, and that means he'll go into next season and won't count. What about Job? Oh man, that is a relief. At least he got to a 99, so we've got both the Bellingham brothers at a 99 overall. That puts us on 54 points. And let's go, boys. We secure another Premier League trophy. 57 now. Simon Adingra gets the job done with the golden boot, but up to 58. Community Shield puts us up to 59. But no FA Cup. No Carabao Cup either. Why are the cup competitions so difficult? Thankfully, we secure the UEFA Super Cup. And yes, we get to 60 points. But we could extend it even further to 65 if we win the Champions League against PSG. It's kind of fitting, bro, that the final game we're playing with this Sunderland team in this takeover is against Paris. And we're doing it with two 99 rated midfielders in there. Adingra, who's been the MVP, I think, of this takeover. Brian Brobby as well held his own up top. Kind of annoyed that he never won the golden boot. I think that's because Adingra just surpassed him. But what a team we've built here with Sunderland. And let's finish the job with that Champions League. And yes, Adingra had to be the man to score. 65 points is where we get with Sunderland. This has definitely been one of the most fun takeovers I've done, considering where we started and where we ended up finishing. And I think 65 points is a solid score. Now, if you enjoyed this takeover, why not watch me try this challenge with Arsenal? Click here.